So during the break, I was reading a firsthand account of somebody whose young child kept bothering Keanu Reeves at the airport. And as young kids do, was just asking him question after question after question after question. And apparently Keanu Reeves, who, by the way, apparently is one of the great guys in Hollywood, answered every question like happily with energy and was incredibly kind. So, cool on him. That did remind me, though, that I think The Replacements, featuring Keanu Reeves playing quarterback, is the most underrated sports movie that exists. I love that movie. I love it.
I like that movie. I don't know if it's the most underrated. But
What would yours be?
It's a good movie for sure. Underrated
sports movie. And those of you on the text line, let us know, what is your most underrated? So you can't say like The Natural because that has, or Hoosiers. No, underrated sports movies that are not mainstream that you think should be. Underrated sports movies, 601-879-4395 on the text line. What are yours?
The Program.
It was a documentary, wasn't it? Basically.
He might as well have been, yeah. Rest in peace, Jimmy Caan. Just passed away yesterday, one of our greatest actors. But, I mean, that's a great movie. I hated that Mississippi State was the first sacrificial lamb in that movie. Never liked Lockett quarterback. He was never any good. That's a great movie. Trying to think. Blue Chips? Is Blue Chips going to be considered underrated?
I think so. Because when you talk about great sports movies, people don't mention Blue Chips.
One of my favorite. It makes me laugh every time where Nolte is talking to that guy and he's like, we gotta get on a plane if you want to see this guy. Where are we going? Algiers. And Nolte just goes, Algiers! And it just makes me laugh every time. And they're going to Algiers, Louisiana, not Algiers, Algeria. So that always, I mean, they got real athletes in that. The only thing I don't like about that movie is it's tough to see Bobby Hurley in an Indiana uniform. Yeah. It just didn't work for me. Like I was watching it, it's like my eyes were rejecting it. But I thought that's a really good movie. Is there a baseball one where I was like, that's underrated? I feel like the baseball ones get all the love.
Yeah, everybody's right?
Everybody loves
about
the
Sandlot.
Everybody loves Major League 2. Now Major League 3 is awful. We won't talk about that one.
Yeah, no.
Everybody loves The Natural. Everybody loves The Rookie. I don't know if there's really a good one for baseball, but the program for me, the program and Blue Chips are never on. Like I listen to that podcast, The Rewatchables. You can never find those movies just on randomly, and they should be. They're good movies.
I forgot that John Favreau was in The Replacements as well. I'm looking at this cast right now. Right. It's a great cast. I mean, yeah. Gene Hackman, Shane Falco.
Tim from Tupelo reminds us the kicker was wiry.
Wiry.
He was wiry. My one offensive weapon is wiry.
And I love how he's going to take his first field goal at a professional football game. Remember,
he's
over the bar,
smoke.
Not under. And he's smoking on the field.
He's smoking the whole time. Oh, my goodness.
They're dancing I Will Survive in the jail cell. And the deaf guy, I mean, the coach walks in and they all shut up and turn and look at coach. And the deaf guy's in the back still just jamming.
The thing I like about that movie is Keanu Reeves looks like he can actually throw the football.
Yes.
So many actors don't know how to throw a football for some odd reason. Keanu Reeves actually looks like a professional athlete in that movie. He does a good job.
Straight up looked like a quarterback. Ran like a quarterback, everything.
There's two stories about movies like that. One is if you go back and watch Major League, you notice that all of the Willie Mays Hayes stuff where he's running is in slow motion. They said it's because he is such a terrible athlete. He looked like an idiot when he tried to run. So they made it all slow motion so you couldn't tell. The other one that I've heard is that for Any Given Sunday, that originally they wanted Puff Daddy to play Willie Beeman. And they brought him out for an audition, and he was so bad at throwing the football that Oliver Stone was like, no chance. Get him out of here. Like, how can
Dennis
you not
Quaid
throw a football?
Competent as well.
Dennis Quaid is one of our greatest sports movie actors. You could tell he was a good high school athlete.
Yeah, he was great in the Rookie too, throwing a baseball. He
Great
looked
in
like
The
he
Rookie.
belonged.
Exactly. Great in The Rookie, great in Any Given Sunday. Left-handed, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a left-handed quarterback in that? Yeah.
Golf's a little bit easier to replicate,
Yeah.
but Tin Cup looked good in terms of golf swing and all that. It looked good enough anyway.
Yeah.
Unlike Happy Gilmore, which nobody swings like that, but there hadn't been a
Necessary
good
Roughness.
golf movie.
That's an underrated movie.
Or any golf movie. And I mean, when's the last one that's come out?
Tin Cup is maybe it. I mean,
sports movies don't really come out anymore. Do they? I mean, what's the last
and when they do, they're
sports
based
movie?
on a true story. They're always based on a true story.
Yeah.
Like they did. Was it Glory Road off the '65 Texas Western team and Miracle and things like that? But you never see nobody wants to do the fictional stuff.
Like Friday
At the same
Night
time,
Lights.
nobody's paying which is they took a lot of liberties with the book. It bothers me. They didn't go to the state championship game in the book in real life. They lost in the semifinals. And they didn't play it in the Astrodome either. They played at Texas at Memorial Stadium.
Tyler sends me a message, says Mickey with Harry Connick Jr. about Little League World Series is a classic. I've never heard of that. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for, though. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that movie, yeah. Kingpin, I don't know if Kingpin is a sports movie. Same with Point Break. I love Point Break, don't get me wrong.
Kingpin
Great
counts. Movie. It counts. Bowling's a sport, right?
We don't have a cow. We got a bull. Let's see. What else we got here?
Blindside underrated, are we sure? I respect your opinion. If you love that movie and you don't think it gets enough acclaim, I am not going to shame you on that. But you've never seen it. You haven't tried?
No.
So you didn't get my 98% protective instincts joke?
I didn't.
Where Bert, a.k.a. Hugh Freeze, takes a call during a game to be reminded that Michael Oher tested 98% in protective instincts? You don't know what? Oh, man. The cheesiest thing ever. Bert, a.k.a. Hugh Freeze, answering his phone during a game to get lectured by Sandra Bullock. You got to see it.
No chance of that ever happening in this lifetime. No chance. No, I'm also not ever going to read Pravda, in case you're wondering how I feel about propaganda.
They didn't make Michael Oher look tough at all. They made him look like a huge wuss in that movie.
He hates that movie.
He should. They made him look like a wuss.
Yeah, he's like, the whole idea that he didn't play football before, that's not true. Not true.
Jason says The Water Boy. Depends on what you qualify as underrated sports movie. That's just a straight up goofy comedy.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
For the Love of the Game, that's a good one. It's more of a rom.
It's a good movie.
Romance.
That's a rom-com,
but one.
working around that. But Costner is another guy that you can tell was an athlete. He can throw the baseball. He looks totally natural as an ace pitcher.
Does Moneyball count?
Tom Hanks. Moneyball is a sports movie, but that's another one based on a true story.
Well, also
loosely based.
Also, they had a couple of the best pitchers in the game. Okay,
3. Zito, Mulder, and Hudson were all on that team.
Yeah.
And Chavez, Miguel Chavez hit 30 home runs.
They don't
Eric
even
Chavez
make reference to those 4 guys. Don't even mention them in that movie.
Or they don't mention Miguel Tejada, Eric Chavez, the 3 pitchers, and they don't mention Billy Koch, who was their closer who had 40 saves, who just came in and replaced Isringhausen, no problem. No offense to Chad Bradford and Scott Hatteberg, but that's not why that team was good.
No, I love Chris Pratt.
The team was loaded. Yeah. So.
And wasn't what's his name? The Jonah Hill, wasn't his character not real? Or not
it's
that
based
way?
Off of another guy. He wasn't. His name wasn't Peter Brand. It was something else. But he was some guy who was an economics major who had a belief in. I believe in analytics too, but it helps when you've got 2 Cy Young Award winners and the AL MVP on your team.
You can win a lot of games when you're pitching it better than literally everybody else. Bradley in Marietta has the best submission yet. This is fun. Glad you guys are with us. There's a lot of these on our text line. You're blowing us up today, and we love you for it. We'll keep on this. But Bradley's got the best one. I think he's the winner and all of them. But Bradley's the winner. It's Cool Runnings. I know it's a true story.
That's a good movie.
Enough people say, you know, they can't believe Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. Love that movie. Great movie.
You
Thank
are.
God. You're dead, man.
It's rough with you when you do reggae. You got this, and you tried to do Pass the Deutsche the other day.
Pass the Dutchie on the left. Yes.
Oh God. Oh God.
Thank God. You're dead, man.
I've only seen it like once or twice.
Really?
It's definitely a good. It's a good movie.
It makes you feel things when they carry. Spoiler alert! When they carry the crashed bobsled.
That movie's like 20 years old, man. You good to spoil it.
When they carry it across the finish line because they crashed in the Olympics, and everybody is giving them like that slow build-up round of applause. You feel things because it happened.
Yeah.
Real story.
Yeah. Give a shout out here to Brian's song. Especially, like I said, James Caan just passed away. Little known fact, and kind of ironic for me, named after a running back, but I am. I'm named after Brian Piccolo.
Are you really?
Yeah. So, I'm named after a running back. Good job, Dad. You really jinxed me on that one.
Well, I mean, knowing what you do now for a living, kind of nailed it.
I mean, I guess. Should have named me Mad Dog. So.
Oh, man. Bob, Field of Dreams is not underrated, my friend. We're looking for underrated. People will go visit the set and cry. That's how impactful Field of Dreams.
They play a baseball game there.
Which was incredible.
A real live MLB game. Yeah.
I would love for us to do the novelty thing. I read a story yesterday about how the city of Chicago is going to set up, like, in the city, a track. And they're going to have, I believe, a NASCAR road course race through the streets of Chicago, like downtown past a stadium or something. Like, they're going to do that. And that's so cool. I wish we could do something like that here because it sells, man. Like the hockey next to Lake Tahoe. College basketball is doing the aircraft carrier thing again.
Yeah. Chicago's talking about putting a dome on Soldier Field, too. They're ready to start hosting Super Bowls.
It's pretty wild that they don't, if you think about it.
I mean, Chicago, yeah, it's the second biggest city, it's not anymore. It's like the third or fourth biggest city in America, and we never do anything there because they don't have a big indoor stadium. But they could have Final Fours there and Super Bowls and things of that nature.
Unless it's changed.
You can do it in Indianapolis and Detroit. Yeah, you can do it in Chicago.
I respect Buffalo for, unless it's changed, using the $1 billion or whatever they're going to get to build a new stadium, not putting a roof on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your fans are willing to tough it out. They've expressed that. So
Buffalo's not going to be in the market for Super Bowls and Final Fours. That's not happening in Buffalo. So you might as well give yourself that advantage. Yes, I agree with that.
I assume you're a pro-dome guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen people say, and understand what they're talking about, that if every state, like Nashville, when they build a new stadium, guess what? It's going to have a roof on it because they want to host Super Bowls and Final Fours. And you can only do that. I mean, you can host outdoor Super Bowls, but Nashville gets cold in January, or early February, I should say. And they want to make sure that the spectacle is uninterrupted. So they're going to put a roof on it. And I've seen people argue that every stadium being a dome in football would ruin some of the novelty about football with like rain games or windy games or snow games or whatever. And I understand that for sure. But, I mean, I've been to a couple Saints games in my life. Been to a Falcons game. It's nice to know that when you're going to go to the game, you're going to sit comfortably wearing your T-shirt and shorts. You're not going to be
Yes.
hot. You're not going to be cold. You're not going to get rained on. For those 4 hours you're inside of that stadium, you will be comfortable. Yeah. That's nice to know as a fan.
I love watching football played in a slop. Love it. But when you're charging what you charge these days for parking and concessions and tickets and seat license fees and everything else, you can't take risks. You got to get people, saying, okay, I want to buy tickets because when I come to this stadium, I'm going to have a great experience. And having to sit out in the rain, especially if you're a family person, right? Like his dad might sit out in the rain, maybe one of the sons, but you got a wife, you got a daughter. They're not staying in the rain for 4 hours. No chance. Yeah. Unfortunately, retractable roofs and domes are just the way of the future. You just can't take those risks.
Yeah. Bunch of votes for Days of Thunder, by the way. Have you seen that?
Of course. He didn't bump you. He didn't hit you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing. That's a words to live by.
How did John C. Reilly sneak into all these sports movies, by the way? He's the catcher in
I don't know. He's in Days of Thunder. He's got a small role in Days of Thunder. John C. Reilly, great athlete, I guess. I don't know.
Apparently so. He was also in Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. So,
That's all right. Not exactly a sports movie, but sure. Somebody mentioned Everybody's All-American. There's Dennis Quaid again, basically playing Billy Cannon.